And then you've got all the amateurs and all that type of stuff, right? So if you use the UFC model, they've distilled 2,000. If you want to be generous, because some people might argue, no, there's going to be more MMA fighters than that. Well, I've looked up on various MMA websites, and that seems to be roughly the figure. About 2,000 active professional male MMA, or male and female MMA fighters combined. Roughly 2,000, but let's be generous and say it's 3,000. Let's say the UFC have managed to distill from 3,000 fighters, the best 700 of them, and sign them up to the UFC. Even though that's not completely accurate, because Francis Ngannou was one of their best fighters and he left to go fight for the PFL, but let's just entertain that argument. From 3,000, they distilled it down to 700. Well, what number are you going to end up with when you've got 24,000 male active fighters in boxing? It's going to be a lot more than 700, isn't it? You're going to have to distill 24,000 down to what? 2,000 or 3,000 minimum? If you want to have something like, the UFC model where you've got the best talent, not just world level, but, regional, domestic, so on and so forth. Because that's what they have in UFC. It's not 700 world-class MMA fighters, is it? There's a handful of world-class guys and the rest of the guys are regional level, domestic level, so on and so forth. So you'd have to take from 24,000 active male professional boxers, you distill it down to maybe 2,000 or 3,000. That is still way bigger than UFC. Way more talent to have to preside over. Way more talent to have to sift through and match up and rank. It's a massive undertaking. It's not something that can be done, in my opinion, in my estimation, quickly. It's something that's going to take a number of years. And it may not even work. We're hearing Oscar De La Hoya showing some defiance here with regards to what Turki Al-Sheikh has said. Basically saying, look, if the reins are going to be given to Dana White to move boxing forward, then we're going to do our own thing. We're not going to play second fiddle to anyone. Now, Oscar De La Hoya has come out with bullish statements before, and some people think that those statements were aimed at Turki Al-Sheikh, and then the next thing you know, he's working with Turki. So, De La Hoya doesn't necessarily always back up his boasts. And, of course, he sold the Ring magazine to Turki Al-Sheikh as well. But even if De La Hoya is all bark and no bite, and I'm not saying he necessarily is, but if he is, there are going to be other promoters out there who are not all bark and no bite, who will bite back. And again, I think the potential success of this boxing league for Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh and Khan and whatnot will be contingent on paying the fighters better money, much better money than they paid them in UFC. Dana White is a miser. He's somebody that doesn't pay fighters what they're worth. His company is extremely greedy and they don't respect the very thing that the fans are actually paying to watch, which is the fighters. They're not paying to see Dana White. They're paying to see the guys get in the ring who are literally risking their health, life, and limb, giving the fans entertainment. They are not paid in the way that they should be in the UFC, given the fact that they are the attraction. Dana White is not the flipping attraction. It's the fighters. In boxing, it is acknowledged through the business model that the fighters are the attraction. Hence, it's the inverse in terms